Welcome, everyone, to Sunset City, a Sonic podcast for the modern and classic age. Today, you have me, your milkiest of Nicks, which was produced by our favorite mommy milkers, Cirrus. How you doing?
Wait, is that where Nilk comes from? Wait.
You can say.
Wait. Oh no. Wait, okay.
And our favorite Metroid mommy, Wayne.
Oh, I don't like that. It does seem like we need to get the cow outfit for Cirrus now, though. All right, let's get him on that.
Damn it.
I'm very surprised how often I've come across that as like a kinky thing in fan art.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Anyway, back from the dead and bringing a lot of flair with him is Channel Pup. Welcome back, buddy.
Baby.
And we can thank him for us looking so damn slick this week. The intro, everything else, that was done by him, and we are very appreciative. We've never looked this cool before.
You guys are too kind.
And just so we know, because it's already coming in, and we appreciate it. Thank you, that Jordo. We do always appreciate the super chats you guys provide us. We sincerely do. So if you're new here, we are starting to. We did this a couple weeks ago. We're going to be saving those till the end of the show, just so we don't interrupt whatever goofy ass conversation we have going on here. And we have some kind of vague idea what we're doing today, just some specific things I've been fixated on. But before any of that, we do have a little bit of Sonic news we can actually get into. I don't know if I've sent you guys the link or not, but Sonic Show just tweeted some Fall Guy stuff for Knuckles to be promoting stuff. Yeah. Do you guys care at all about Fall Guys?
I mean, I've been told I need to play it.
I played
hang
for like
on.
a week.
Hang on. We've got a lot of people saying there's a lot of reverb in the chat here. Stream is lagging kind of a bit. Loading circle. Uh-oh. Oh my God. Oh my dear God. Wow. I mean, we've had audio challenges before. This might be the worst we've ever had for anything. My co-hosts, our audience, guys, thank you so much for being as patient as you have been. This has been insane.
It's been would you say it's been an adventure?
No.
Everybody, on the count of 3, let's apologize. 1, 2, 3.
We're sorry.
We're sorry.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Wayne, you
God.
really are the best of us and the worst of us.
Oh my God.
All right, okay.
So
So
I
we good?
completely forgot what we were even talking about. Sonic the Hedgehog, right? That's what we do.
Yes,
I
today
thought
we're
this was
doing
Crash Bandicoot.
Unsolved Sonic Mysteries, starting with the following. Is Sonic's penis retractable?
I want to say yes. I mean, we never see it, just kind of like flopping out around there in the open
question
when
is-
he's running.
Is it retractable, or does he just not have one?
I think it actually works kind of like a duck's where it corkscrews out.
Oh, I'd hate to think that.
let's
That ruins a lot of good comics.
Maybe
all
that's why he never settles down with Amy, is because he doesn't want to admit that he just doesn't have a dick.
This one's for the audience. Where do rings come from?
I don't know.
Well, when a mommy and daddy ring love each other very much.
No, dude, pay attention to the chat.
All right, so let's just get back to our show. I know Wayne has a lot of work ahead of him, and I actually have to go to work in like an hour. So it's going to be a shorter show. I'm very sorry, guys. We will do better next week, I promise. But let's get into it, and let's pretend like we care about Sonic for an hour. So, little bit of news. Ian Flynn is a creative consultant on Sonic Prime. That was recently revealed earlier this week. Does anybody have any particular feelings they'd like to share about it?
Fucking happy about that, man. Like, I don't know how far his actual influence is going to stretch, where that show's plot and everything are concerned. But if there's one writer who likes to take deep cuts from Sonic and make them really, really fun to actually see like spelled out on the page, it's Ian.
Yeah, I agree. Pup, Wayne, are you guys familiar with his work in any capacity?
Yeah, I've read
Yeah.
some of his.
Oh, what, Ian Flynn?
Yeah.
Sorry, go on, Wayne.
Oh, no. I completely cut you off there, buddy. You're first.
No. He asked both of us, so it's only
Okay.
customary that we
my
both
fault.
answer at the same time. So no apologies necessary. If you would like to go ahead and elaborate, I think you have better things to say.
Admittedly, I haven't really gotten my hands on the comics myself. I'm weird about comic books. I generally don't like reading them unless I have the physical copies in my hand. So far, a lot of what I've gotten has just been through. There's some guy on YouTube who does the Sonic speed reading, I want to say, and so he just kind of like runs through.
Oh, that dickhead with the star nipples. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he's kind of
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, no. But I do
Star
have
Nipples
been,
apologist.
the majority of my familiarity with his work is mostly through Nick's Sonic speed reading videos, and but from what I have seen and from what I've been able to gather, I haven't gotten a ton of info on just like the sentence by sentence like dialogue writing. But in terms of the understanding of the characters and their actions and everything like that, it's little things like Knuckles. Everybody wondering where Sonic went at the end of the of a certain arc, and Knuckles just standing there like, "Oh, he'll be back." And he's just staring at the sky for hours, just like any minute now. Like it's he just has a way of just writing the characters and everything. He values the one-on-one interactions. He understands how important it is that all of these people have a kind of dynamic with one another. And I think that's kind of what makes him important to the Sonic series right now, because that's something the franchise really needs to get back.
Yeah. I think the only major concern would be Shadow. I'm sorry, go ahead, Pup.
I still don't like deem like Ian Flynn, or at least Ian Flynn working under the restraints that he probably has, ideal, like my ideal choice for like Sonic stories and stuff. But like I have read some of his Metal Virus arc and stuff. And I do like the way he writes the characters. He still has the kind of problem of making Sonic do too much within these stories, personally.
I agree.
And we kind of discussed that on the Should Sonic Kill episode.
Yeah.
But like I think, he gets the characters. He certainly gets the characterization a lot more consistent than the writers of the games, but I don't want to go into taking more fucking pot shots at those two guys because they might be nice as pie. But like fuck them.
Well,
oh god. Well, yeah, I do think the consideration of the direction that Sega wants to take these characters always has to be taken with a grain of salt. And if you guys do listen to Bumblecast at all, that's something Ian's never shied away from, just being, honest with his audience. It's not talking shit about Sonic. He's just upfront, like, look, these are the license holders. We do what they say. We follow their guidelines, and that's just how it is. If you don't like it, I'm sorry.
That is entirely worth noting as well, is like the slight, the criticisms we have towards people like Pontac and Graf. We don't know what restrictions they're working under. It looks from the outside that Ian Flynn's probably doing a better job at working within those restrictions than Pontac and Graf. But like, we still don't know. Like, Sega could be the root cause issue here, holding Sonic back. So the bottom line is just fuck Ken Penders.
I mean, the worst part is there's actually a little bit of truth to that to that conclusion, though.
Yeah, there's a little bit to it. I gotta say, and I know it's a little bit off topic, but I did have to add this to my script. I completely changed, because if any of you are my patrons who've listened to the audio for the Sonic Colors video, most of that's still in there, but the final product is way different, because I focus more on these little details that I kind of glossed over. One of those being the PA announcements in Colors. I'm gonna be honest, some of those jokes are the funniest fucking things I've heard in any part of Sonic before. They are so goddamn funny, and it's amazing when we consider Pontac and Graf's really corny storytelling, but like, some of their jokes are some of the best there. So I'm wondering if it is those restrictions, like they're just trying to write too kiddie, but when they're allowed to be a little bit more adult with their humor, they really shine through. So I mean, yeah,
Another
those are
thing,
going to be
we don't
restrictions
know-
on there too. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
We don't know if they write the in-game dialogue, though. All we know is that they definitely do the cutscenes, but the in-game dialogue, for all we know, could just be translated. But again, credit where it's due. If they did write those jokes, there are some funnies in there. Some of them do go on a bit too long, which leads me to believe that they probably are written by them. But like, this isn't an unsolved Sonic mystery, though, is it? Like this.
No, it's not.
No,
We're
this is just about news.
let's be honest though.
This
like,
is interesting, though.
yeah, we're
It is.
It's a fun topic I want to get into, but we're not going to have a lot to talk about when we get into it. I don't think we will.
I
anyway.
wouldn't say the PA announcements are the funniest that the series has to offer, though. That stuff would go to Sonic Boom, as far as I'm concerned.
I'm not going to
like the
disagree
TV
with
show.
you. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm
I
just
think
talking
the
in
one
game.
bit,
Yeah.
the bit that made me laugh most out of any Sonic project is the episode where Eggman sues Sonic, and the judge is just like, "We'll leave the jury to deliberate whilst we have a groovy hippie-themed dance party," and then they just break out into a random groovy disco in the courtroom.
Yeah, so
That
I'm not disagreeing with you in
smiling.
terms of the, if we're talking like the satellite media, like the shows, the comics stuff. There's been definite like things I found very, very, very funny. I'm just talking in terms of games in general, because they've tried many, many times, and I know a lot of people like the earlier 3D games. I've never been a big fan of like the dialogue back and forth. It's always felt a bit stilted, like you can tell it's localized. And then when we get over to colors and things like that, it gets incredibly cheesy. So it's never been like my go-to place for like really witty back and forth. But yeah, just in terms of the source material, I gotta say, I think the PA announcements is probably the only parts of genuine laughter that the games have ever gotten out of me. But I know we're getting a little off topic there. I guess I'll just give my thoughts a little bit here. I think bringing in Flynn on any capacity is a very good sign, if nothing else. I don't know if that's approval by Sega or if it's the crew themselves being like, we need a good source of Sonic to work off of here.
Instead of having the Pontac and Graph issue from Colors where they went, let's bring writers in who have never played a Sonic game ever to continue the story of Sonic. Like, it's better to have at least the reference point where they're like, no. Absent of because as far as we know, there's not really a Sonic Bible anymore.
I'll be entirely fair here. This is kind of my like film student brain kicking in, I guess. It's not a terrible idea to get totally fresh blood aboard a project because they can give a new insight and they can think outside the box, and that can be a very good thing. And I wouldn't say that Pontac and Graf were brought on board to continue the Sonic story per se, but to just make a Sonic story, I guess, like, because they are pretty self-contained. But it's like, it is one of those things where sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and you got to look into kind of the strengths of the writer. Like, put it this way, the claim to frame, why can't I fucking speak today? The claim to fame of Pontac and Graf was Happy Tree Friends, a dialogue-less cartoon. And then when they started doing Sonic Colors, the stories got much more vocal and wordy than they were in the past. And I think an element to why the jokes probably go on as long as they do is they've got all that space to fill, like the Japanese dialogue. Maybe it just takes longer to get through it, so they have to get enough dialogue to fill those cutscenes, basically, which means some jokes have to be stretched to fuck. But yeah, I do think Ian Flynn's an okay choice for like a supervisor for the Sonic Prime TV series.
My thing for like Pontac and Graf is just like my issue with a lot of the humor in Sonic Colors, for example, is actually very similar to my issue with the Happy Tree Friends. And that's that it spends a lot of time on a joke that isn't really that funny to begin with.
Yeah.
It's like, oh god, cute woodland creatures and gore. That's the entire joke. Let's just keep running with that the entire time. Fuck Happy Tree
To be
Friends.
fair, I think the whole appeal of the Happy Tree Friends is that kind of thing that when you're like 10, you get home from school, you hop on the computer, and it's like, oh, this is so unsuspecting. Violence.
It was very much
I
of its
guess.
time, I'd say, more than
Yeah.
anything else.
If they said, you know, we're getting Pontac and Graf to make Sonic more violent, now that I'd be on board with.
Just give Shadow a gun again.
I
Have him
mean,
just shoot Sonic's head off and have a trail of blood all over the place. Like,
I mean, that'd be very good. Just like, okay, let's get blood everywhere. Sonic creepypastas, Halloween time. Woo!
Imagine like Tails flying with his tails, and his tails like because tail is an extension of the spine. His spine getting all twisted up, and his body getting all mangled, and his teeth fall out and shit, and his eyes pop out. Like that.
What the
That's the contact
fuck?
Sonic I want to see.
You have given some thought to this, and
I think
I
he's
am
just mocking Happy Tree Friends.
yeah. I just
I'm not mocking it. I'm kind of just
no. He's this is what he
appreciating
wants.
the art in the Happy Tree. There's an episode with the moose where a tree falls on his leg.
Oh
and he
yeah,
has to
the Saw
remove
episode.
his leg. He has to amputate his own leg with nothing but a spoon, and he finally does it, and then he realizes he's got the wrong leg.
He's
and
got
I'm
the.
just like,
I
that's
fucking
really
love that
fucking
episode.
funny.
I really do. Like it's that one, and then the one where he's trying to shave on the way to work are the ones with the moose that I remember the most.
It's the moose ones. It's always the moose.
The moose ones or the veteran.
Yeah, the moose or the vet. They're good ones. Like, can we have that in the Sonic games, please? Like, have a tree fall on Knuckles, and he has to amputate his own fist or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like a little bit of the outsider there. I never really thought much of Happy Tree Friends. I thought it was edgy humor for the sake of existing in and of itself, and it wasn't really that funny, and it was the only thing the show had.
Sonic jumps on top of the tornado while it's flying, but he gets sucked into the propeller. Like,
Jesus.
We're
there's
just
so
on
much.
this.
Like, imagine Tails just tilts the plane wrong. He's not exactly buckled in, is he? Zing! Blood everywhere.
My God.
Surprised that hasn't happened yet.
So
That's the power of a Chaos Emerald, everybody.
it should be noted that, back to topic, Ian Flynn is not being hired to write anything for the show. I mean, he might
Nah,
eventually.
he's like a consultant, isn't he?
Well, he's a creative consultant.
He's a creative consultant.
Yeah, and that I think that's just because like these guys. I mean, regardless of how you feel about their past projects, like I've said many times, not a fan of any of it, anything I've seen from any of the studio. But they know what they're doing. They've worked on multiple projects before. They don't really need help in terms of like building a TV show. But I really appreciate that they're going to somebody who's had a lot of experience with the franchise just to make sure they're staying true to the character. Because regardless of how you feel about bringing fresh blood into a... Now I'm seeing why you're having so much trouble here, man. Oh my God.
None of us can speak. We're bad at this.
Yeah,
We've got cotton mouth today.
but I think it just depends on the project, how well any of that stuff works. I don't think Sonic needs fresh blood. I think they need a consistent voice. They need to rein this franchise in, and I think Ian is one of the few competent writers they have consistently on staff with them. I mean, he did help put together the first draft of the Sonic Encyclopedia coming out. Like he's the best choice for this, so I'm really happy.
It does depend though on what the consultant is doing, because like creative consultants' roles can really vary. Like it can vary from yes, they are an active part of the process to basically having Ian Flynn chained up in the basement, and they go to him and go, "Hey, is this fucking up the franchise enough?" And Ian's just like, "Make it stop," and they're like, "There we go, creative consultant." That's completely within the realm of possibility.
Because we don't.
The first Tom and Jerry movie, you know, the one where they talk and sing and are best buds, and it completely missed the point.
Yep.
The original Tom and Jerry creator was a creative consultant on that film.
It doesn't mean they have to listen to him. I mean, that's
what I'm saying. He could just be chained up in the basement,
Yeah.
and they just
Well,
like, how
I
you
mean,
doing, buddy?
Let's also remember that you know, the people that help create these things, especially as old and classic as say Tom and Jerry, they change over time. Sometimes they want to do something else with the material. Sometimes it's not going to be something everybody wants. I mean,
Are you trying to rationalize that horrible Tom and Jerry movie?
No, what I'm saying is that he might be just as at fault. I mean, I've seen stuff like that happen before. I mean, if we want to talk Metroid Other M, that was directed by Sakamoto and went exactly the way that he wanted it to. And one of the biggest problems with that is the writing.
Yuji Naka and Sonic 06 as well, but also beep, 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 time for another Metroid update.
What?
Yeah, so let's talk about Metroid.
oh
You
God.
bitch.
Wayne, I gotta say, because you shown us your next thumbnail, who did that art? That is stunningly good.
That is a friend of mine, Justin Wood. He also does if I can chill him a little bit, he also does a comic. I did a video about a long time ago called NPCs, and stunning artwork, very underappreciated artist. He's not really on social media anymore, and I haven't really gotten a firm answer as to why, but maybe he's just trying to like go cold turkey on the whole thing, which is kind of respectable, to be perfectly honest. But you can check him out, Justin Wood, NPCs on Amazon. He's got his works up there, and I do recommend it. It's
absolutely
wonderful.
beautiful. Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that coloring, man, and the line work's just fantastic. I just love it. But yeah, does anyone else have any particular thoughts on bringing in Ian Flynn as a consultant?
I mean, I kind of echo Pup's sentiments a little bit in that, like, there's a part of me that's super happy about this because I like Ian's work. There's another part of me that's like, but how much are they going to let him do? Because Ian's only as good as the amount of creative freedom they give him. So
I mean, we really can only speculate, but there's nothing about this news that I take away as a negative. I think this is a positive step regardless. So unless they totally bungle it up, I don't think the idea of bringing him on as someone to throw ideas back and forth and make sure that characters are being true to who they are supposed to be is a bad idea. I really do like this.
I say, get Penders in, give him full control so he can finally tell the story of Sally losing her virginity to Joffrey St. John's.
Goddamn.
Release the Penders cut.
Oh no.
I mean, if they're gonna make Penders do anything, just hand him the like. You know what? Hold on. No, crazy fucking idea. Just have Ian control everything about Sonic's universe except the Echidna civilization. Just hand that to Penders and be like, "You guys in a room, make up now."
I mean, honestly, give Penders a project to just work on all of his own with the Sonic franchise. If it goes great, cool. If it blunders, then hey, it's just.
I mean, with all that said, I think we've heard enough from Penders.
I'd
rather
get
new
agree.
blood in than revisit Penders.
Nah, we have.
Get Emmy Jones and Dorian on it. You know, before
Hey!
we go to Penders.
I mean, if you're talking
Like,
about the new blood
be thrilled
cares
to see them
about
in development.
Sonic to begin with, I like that because I don't want to get into Penders right now. I think he's a very dangerous person to bring on in any capacity.
You know what we should get into?
I wouldn't want to get into Penders either. I bet he's very dirty.
Anyway, yeah, we do have to get moving on to the next points here because we could discuss speculation on Sonic writing for forever here. The only other bit of news, when we kind of talked about it before our stream just went to shit, was Knuckles merch kind of popping up here and there, getting leaked, which is to be expected. We're getting closer and closer to movie stuff here. We've seen Fall Guys. Apparently there's like action figure stuff or plushes or something out there now. I haven't seen anything though.
I would love to see like some Eggman toys. Like,
yeah,
just Jim Carrey as Eggman with like little badniks and stuff.
I'm excited. I think
interesting.
we're gonna finally get, because everything that happened with that first movie, they obviously couldn't prep up a whole lot of merch, and even like the cross promotional stuff they had, you could tell they weren't really going for like the top tier expensive brands.
To be fair, they could have gotten a Robotnik out at least. Like,
I'm not going to
That design
disagree
didn't change.
with that, but
Yeah.
I do think that they're going to go at this full force and really just get nuts with brand integration with this next one, and I'm excited for it because I want a movie Knuckles action figure. I want a Jim Carrey.
I
Those
would
Eggman.
love
designs
that.
are
Like,
so solid.
if they did
though.
like a Marvel Legends-esque Sonic movie toy line, like little 6-inch scale Sonic figures with nice little detail in them as well. But then again, I suppose Marvel Legends are more aimed at adult collectors, so
And
kids will
they-
get something the equivalent of 90s
I
McDonald's.
feel
And they're
like Sega-
established in their
yeah.
collectible market at this point. Sonic, not so much. Sorry, Wayne, go
Yeah,
ahead.
that's the thing is, kids' toys, man, they're just not that good.
I think
Yeah,
the Jax lines are okay, honestly.
They're fine. Wait, is that the one where Sonic's got really weird legs, though? There's one where Sonic's got these human-looking legs, and I hate it.
It's just the current.
I guess-
no, the current toy line just is. It just takes the game models and just puts them into plastic form. That's all it is.
No, there
Yeah.
is that, and it is the modern Sonic, but they gave him a really weird leg shape. Fucking, I
Some
don't
of
know if
them-
that's Jack's.
Sorry,
I don't think
I'll
I
find
actually
a
know
picture of
which
it.
one you're. I don't know which one you're talking
I
about.
don't
because
either. Yeah,
I will find it. I will find it.
I will find him.
God
Love that
fucking
movie,
damn
mate.
it!
Thank you. I'm so happy to hear that.
I like that movie. So
I do too.
Man of Steel is amazing.
This is where we do the thing that Pup always wanted and turn this into a DC extended
Oh,
universe.
God.
Right,
podcast,
So-
look,
I
you see
will
the legs
say-
on that? You see the
So I
legs?
will.
The
I
kind
hate
of
that-
bend in the legs there.
I
Is it-
hate his legs. It's not that. It's that they change. Like they're really thick thighed at the top. They go in way too high, making like a buttocks kind of shape. I hate it. I
It almost
fucking
looks
hate
like
it.
they're made out of a different material than the rest of them. It looks off.
It looks like a fucking Pender's Sonic toy.
In terms of in terms of like adult Sonic collectibles, like I'm sure you guys are familiar with First Four Figures.
Not actually.
Yeah, but
I
where's
am.
Oh, okay.
the-
So First Four Figures does some really high-end like collectibles, statues, stuff like that. A lot of them can range upwards of like $300 to $500, sometimes more depending. But they do a lot of game-related stuff. Like there's a replica of Samus Aran's helmet that's coming out. They're working on a really cool, if I can find it real quick, a Super Shadow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they do cool
Mhm.
Sonic models and statues. I still want something composed though, you know, like something articulated.
I would like that too, and my thing is like I do like these figures that they have, but for the amount of money that they
Yeah.
often are just like it's
I
cool
mean-
that some of them light up and everything. I think
Yeah, it's just there's no way it costs them that much to produce though.
So,
It's bullshit.
If I could
Yeah.
interject there, because there have been a few Sonic lines, and before Jack specific, there was Jazzwares, and they did have very articulated Sonic toys.
Yeah, I think I had the Jazzwares classic Sonic figure somewhere at my mother's.
Yeah, and they look a little weird, if I'm honest. They're fine. I mean, they do the job, but I think the current proportions for these characters makes it a little bit challenging to really do much with it because it is so hard to stand those things up. So I think they just went with the safest bets they could with their current run.
Wasn't there a set of like Sonic Adventure ones with like bendy arms?
yes, I want all of them.
And the Jack specific, they do have a line that is. They started off surprisingly. This was weird for me, and I was wondering, like, is this just what they're gonna do going forward? But they were bendy figures, like the wireframe figures that are just always
Yeah.
like a secondary toy in my mind. They're not like properly articulated action figures. But that was like the first line of toys was just bendies that are just the action figures without any kind of articulation. It's the same thing. So I don't
It's not
know.
a terrible idea to do them as bendies because Sonic's limbs are pretty noodly.
Yeah, but I don't know. They're very safe in terms of design. And I think that's been a problem just in game design and I think in the merch as well too, because the classic Sonic looks exactly like the game one. It just looks like they're taking the exact same templates, but they're not getting any kind of interesting deviation from the core designs that we've had for over 10 years at this point.
It's like it's basically just like a 1-to-1 translation for better and worse.
Yeah, I mean
This
they even
picture I
tried the
just sent
shug.
to the Discord.
That's
Look how fat his arms are.
well
I fucking hate it.
that what you're showing are the 2.5 inch ones though, Pup. Those are really tiny, so yes, they have to make them a little bit thicker so they actually stand up. Those are not the 5-inch figures, so it does look a little bit differently.
I hate him. Just give him a stand.
For a little $5 figure, no man, that's not the point of those ones. But I don't know, we could just talk about this forever. I'm excited to see what they do with the movie ones. I think their proportions are going to lend well to action figures, and I think they're going to look pretty rad, honestly. So we'll talk more about it when it comes out. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, we'll see how we'll have to see how they end up being because like that's if there's one thing that Sonic should have like down pat is merchandise, considering he's a character that lives and dies on his design,
Yeah,
and that alone in many cases.
it's a strong brand. It's not that strong of a brand, especially with pandemic stuff going on. As someone who collects, Ninja Turtles and Jurassic Park and Sonic, it's been a fucking nightmare getting anything these last couple of years, especially without Toys R Us, where you could just go in there and just get your weird, obscure collector toys. I mean, they used to
I
have like
do love
Sonic
Toys R Us.
aisles, man. Oh god, I couldn't stop thinking about it the other day. I was so sad about it. But yeah, we can talk more toys. We gotta talk with more merch friendly YouTubers about that stuff sometime. But should we move on to the main points of today's episode before we carry on with our separate ways?
I
so.
say we should, yeah.
think it'd
Before
be
we
a
get
good
to
idea.
super chats anyway.
Yeah.
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 We've got to read that.
We of course
All
do.
right.
So I wanted to talk about some unsolved Sonic mysteries, and I should have clarified when I asked on Twitter because I wasn't really talking about like the deeper lore stuff, like these bigger questions we all have as fans, like what are the true origins of the rings or Chaos Emeralds? What's going on with the two worlds? I was more just, I think I was more just playing through Sonic Adventure. Like I remember the first time I did that was like the first time I was really properly exploring a Sonic world in 3D and wondering about a lot of background elements and like what's the story behind this shit.
Yeah.
Me and Chowmix did a video about one specific one, that being that weird Mecha Sonic that doesn't look like any other robot in the series. And even though we did this long ass video about it, there's like within minutes somebody posted a comment saying, "Hey, that looks like Showa Mecha Godzilla," and it's the exact same pattern. So we solved that mystery just from posting that video, which was awesome. It is just a flat out Mecha Godzilla cameo, and we didn't have that.
It's the power of community.
Yeah, dude, I love it. It is very satisfying having some kind of an answer for that, because I flat out asked somebody on Twitter, one of the creative directors on the Sonic franchise. And say what you will, I mean, I know Yuji Naka and a lot of other core team members are gone, but there's a lot of veteran members in Sonic Team, which makes you wonder why the games are so wildly inconsistent. But he dropped a lot of interesting stuff, like random tidbits, like who designed Metal Knuckles, stuff like that on Twitter. I flat out asked him, like, hey, what's the deal with this guy? And he was just like, I didn't work on him, I don't know. So, thank you, fans. I appreciate you. That aside, though, I'm just going to get to the one I wanted to talk about. The Red Mountain Ghosts. Those things weird me the fuck out. They've always weirded me the fuck out. Am I the only one that's given any kind of a shit about those things?
Oh,
You're
no,
not the only one. Those things were, especially because like when I was introduced to Sonic Adventure was different than the way you were, Nick.
Mm-hmm.
I was introduced to it on the GameCube where we had the mission structure, and they were literally called the Prisoners of Hell in the fucking missions. For little kid me, that made no fucking sense.
Yeah, dude, that was like, I don't know. I only played through like the mission stuff for the first time with the 360 port because I was determined to get all the achievements in that game. And that was the first time I got any kind of anything about those guys, like any kind of conversation bits about them. Where is Red Mountain located?
Down.
Peru.
No.
So-
like, is it Angel Island?
It's over in the
Oh,
Mystic Ruins.
I've always had a question about. Okay, so sorry if this is getting off of this a
No,
little
it's-
bit,
it's
but I
all
was
on point.
always confused about the layout of the Mystic Ruins and Angel Island and what was part of what, and were the Mystic Ruins Angel Island, because we also see like the ruins of the Echidna tribe and everything down there. Is that not part of Angel Island?
and
Angel
if
Island
so,
looks
what is
pretty.
Tails Workshop doing there?
Yeah, like, okay, so, because I always wondered, we do get that little isle that's connected to the, like, it's got a bridge system going
Yeah.
out to it, that's where the Master Emerald is, and it's just kind of floating in the middle of all this stuff, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But that cannot be the entirety of Angel Island, because, I mean, we know canonically just from Sonic the Hedgehog 3, but also just because even in the cutscenes within its own contained game, it looks like a massive like hunk of land. So
And
is it
Sonic
like that?
3, it's like a whole fucking ecosystem.
Yeah, and then like it rises up and then it falls back down again in the same. It would have to have fallen in the same position, which I get they wouldn't put that much thought into at the time, but it also just makes no sense. Is it just like that giant rock face that's like on making the walls? You know, where like part of the rocks collapse out to get you over to the ice cap and then to the Master Emerald? Like, do you know what part of
Like,
that I'm talking about?
Yeah, the part that leads into the cave structure that
Like,
looks like
yeah.
the windy area from the first levels.
Yeah, is that sheer cliff there just like that side of Angel Island that fell? Is that where Angel Island meets with the Mystic Ruins? Is the Mystic
Not
Ruins
that-
always there?
Not to mention, hold on, am I wrong in thinking in when you go to quote Angel Island in Sonic Adventure? Correct me if I'm wrong, but when you look down at the bottomless pit between like the bridge that where Lava Mountain and all that is, and then like Angel Island proper, that bridge, if you jump off, the texturing on the bottom of the death zone does not look like water, right?
No, it's more
Like,
land.
none of that
under
looks-
it.
Yeah, it's more land, and yet the scene where we see Angel Island fall, it falls very obviously in a fucking ocean.
So I'm not the only one who's confused by the geography of the Mystic Ruins.
No.
Okay.
That whole area is like, there's a lot of weird things there. Like if the Mystic Ruins was its own area, well, no, even that would make sense. I was gonna say, even if the Mystic Ruins was its own area, that would make sense if it was like part of Angel Island. But then I'm like, wait, no, but there's an ocean where you can get on a boat to get to the fucking egg carrier, and there's a train already like going there that was already built, so it can't be that opening area.
So I'm gonna cut you off real quick, just because chat's gonna be losing their fucking minds at us here. They have some stuff to tell us here. So something I've heard before, and I don't have any concrete evidence. Where the ruins are in Mystic Ruins, apparently that's where Angel Island used to sit, or like that's where that grand spot where Eggman's base now is, that's where it used to be. I don't know how true that is one way or the other, but there's a lot of people here saying that Ice Cap and Red Mountain are part of Angel Island, and there's NPCs saying as such, like that stuff was not there before. And that would kind of explain how the side of the mountain kind of blows up, you know, in portion of the game, and it just opens
it's
up
like
that area.
tectonic plates. It's like tectonic plate shifting over time now that it's fallen. Like, this is a thing that was going to happen eventually with a fucking island falling onto it.
Or, I mean, that just could have been like, it just landed right next to it, and it just knocked some things loose, and now you can access Angel Island through that wall. I don't know, but it looks like a lot of people are saying that, yes, those are indeed parts of Angel Island. So let's loop it back around. That means that those prisoners...
those fucking hot shelter ghosts are part of Angel Island.
Are part of Angel Island.
Well,
hold on.
We are also, at the end of the day, talking about the same Mystic Ruins location where you can go into a cave, go into a sinkhole, and you're just in the desert.
That's
Hold on, the question though.
But actually, that makes...
Sorry, go ahead.
They're prisoners of hell, right?
Yeah.
In the
So
mission structure, it says they're prisoners of hell.
Okay, so here's the real mystery. What did they go to hell for?
That's what we were going to get to, yeah.
Can I propose an idea?
Of course.
Go on.
So, with a couple of things. One, with Wayne saying there's a hole leading to the desert. That's actually consistent with Sonic 3. Because with Sonic 3, like, little nooks and crannies lead you fucking everywhere. Like, that's...
Shoot, you do go to the desert in that too, don't you?
Yeah, that's kind of just a thing that you do in Sonic 3 and Knuckles anyway. And that's one of the reasons that playing with Knuckles is so interesting in that game, because he can get to those crannies way faster than Sonic, because he knows where everything goes and is.
I thought you said grannies. I was like, Knuckles.
No, Knuckles wants grannies. But no,
here I come.
Rougher than the best of them. The grannies are tougher than leather.
Oh no! No! Oh no! God.
But so the other thing I was going to propose is, if they are like, quote, prisoners of hell, if that's like not just a mistranslation, that's they're literally going with that. These could be people who were literally imprisoned wrongly by the Echidna tribe, and their spirits never fucking able to left.
If they were wrongly imprisoned, then why
it's not. It's not a literal hell, because it's literally just in a volcano. What I'm saying is,
I want to think it's a literal hell. So,
but if it's a literal, okay, then
it's because they wanted universal healthcare.
Or like health care, you know what I'm saying?
And the Echidna tribe wouldn't give them universal health care.
Well, I do like that idea, though, is that they're somewhat connected to the Echidnas, because the thing I always found the most fascinating about the way Sonic Adventure 1 handles the Echidna tribe is that they're assholes.
Yeah. No,
So
they're
the
fucking
Echidnas
genocidal maniacs.
The Echidnas dictate who goes to heaven and hell. So the question is, are they like disciples then? Are they like involved in God?
It also could just be like it's
Do you
believe?
Knuckles
Do you
God?
believe in God?
Is Knuckles God?
Is Knuckles God?
Do you know the way?
Do you know the way?
is the god of the main series Sonic universe.
Another thing that we could kind of touch on, I mean, it's a location literally called Angel Island, which was a part of the Echidna's world,
no.
right? So
Where's Devil Island then?
I don't think that it's so much supposed to be a literal hell. I think it's supposed to be referred to as hell, as kind of like a I mean, you think about Angel Island, it's a landmass that grows that floats up into the air to guard the Master Emerald and everything like that, versus this place that they may have referred to as hell, literally just being their prison system, and like people will just like go down there, never come back out, they just die in hell.
Sega, I have an idea for you. Next Sonic game, have them travel to a place called Devil Island and make it a hellscape and make it like the escape from Devil Island. That would be badass.
So actually, I want to touch on that. I know it's a little bit off topic here, but when we talked about Demon Isle and Devil Isle stuff like that before, Ken Penders, I think, actually coined some term like that in the anti-Mobius in the Archie days. Yeah.
Was that in Mobius Unleashed?
But I mean, I'm starting to do a little bit more
Sonic
Archie
game.
reading here, so I need to confirm that one way or the other when we start speed reading Archie. But yeah, I think Penders would sue potentially.
I think my favorite
dear.
Archie Sonic comic is still Sonic Project Triple X. That is
Just a work of art. I know, just great.
a work of art.
So
Well,
I'm a little relieved that I can't just like recognize that off the top of my head. I'm not sure what that is.
well, you say
lying.
triple X. I just made the assumption. you
Yeah,
know.
I just did. Oh yeah, I just can't think of the specific. You know what I mean?
Oh, I'm sure we can look it
He
up right
can't.
now.
He doesn't.
Just really just
He-
keep diving into-
And now it's
Oh, God.
time for the top 10 Sonic hentais.
So
Unsolved Sonic Mysteries. How far can his cum travel?
Can Sonic breathe with a chipmunk?
Is he as fast in bed as he is on the ground?
Find out next time on
Is
Sonic
he actually capable
XXX.
of impregnating Sally, given that there are different species?
well, they
God.
actually
What
they
diseases
solved that.
can he
They
rid?
solved
He
that
can.
Because
Oh, God,
they
you're
just-
right. Canonically, yes.
Yeah, no, because he did have
Archie's
kids.
not canon. Archie
What's
isn't
that
canon.
matter? What's canon
It's
matter?
not canon. It's not canon.
You just say that when it doesn't matter to you. The games aren't canon to themselves. It doesn't matter.
Why Sally doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
In the context of what
games
you're
don't even
talking
follow
about,
their own continuity.
In the context of what
Look,
you're talking about,
all
they
I'm
actually
saying is-
answer that.
Archie isn't canon. Mobius Unleashed is. So get out of here.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
I did like that they actually like
Oh yeah.
to
This
answer
is
the
happening.
question, like what happens if they reproduce. They just make one of each. So one of the kids is a squirrel or chipmunk, whatever, and the other is a hedgehog. They don't mix it and become
It's-
like a chip hog or anything
A
like
chip
that.
hog.
They
It
form
would
a
have been
contract.
really funny if one of them was a fox.
They form a contract with.
Oh no.
Oh,
fucking beef.
Have you ever seen the cartoon Rocco's Modern Life?
yes.
Yes.
You know how like Filbert the tortoise and there was this dentist cat, I can't remember her
Yeah,
name.
yeah.
But they had this event status episode where they have kids and they have 3 triplets and one of them is a heifer.
Oh, do they really?
Yeah, they have 3 triplets and one of them is like a little heifer.
That
And it
stands
just
to reason
follows
for
Rocco.
for cats and dogs, though, right? Like they could have multiple mates and pop out different kids with multiple daddies, right? Am I
So my
mistaken there?
headcanon now is that if 2 animals breed,
I don't know how that
anything
works.
comes out. Like, just anything at all.
I was thinking that like because they have to do it like where it's one of each and never just like a hybrid, they have to like form a contract with God, like in Full Metal Alchemist, and just like adhere to the laws of equivalent exchange when it comes to like popping out kids.
The question is, does Sally lay eggs like real chipmunks do?
No, but Dr. Starline does.
Wait. Hold on.
That's
on.
not true, is it?
No, it's not true.
Chipmunks. Yeah,
Well, what
chipmunks
the
don't
fuck
have
are
eggs.
acorns
Chipmunks
then?
are mammals, aren't they?
Yes.
Well, what are acorns then, if not chipmunk eggs?
Pup, we need to have a talk.
Oh God, I missed this son of a
when
bitch.
when
God
a
damn it.
mommy and daddy chipmunk love each other very much, their
So-
acorns get spent.
Let me get back to these fucking ghosts. So
I like chipmunks, and I can't.
obviously we're not going to take this very seriously. We're going to get
So
derailed. because obviously the ghosts are there for just for set dressing. More than we understand this, we know this. Any of the ghosts are, but it is fun to kind of speculate, right? Like if this is Angel Island, if they remade, all right, so if they remade Sonic Adventure, would you guys think it would be a cool idea if like they took out all the weird mechanical shit in Red Mountain and instead shown like sad echidna ghosts? Like this is their purgatory forever for fucking with
Have both.
chaos.
I
Wait, hold on,
honestly, I
though.
would 100% love that.
Ghosts in the Sonic universe don't have a consistent design. do
Oh
they?
no, they
Like,
don't.
They don't need to.
So there must be a
Well,
reason.
I
Oh
think-
no, I figured it
Oh.
out. I know why these guys are all ribbon-like. It's because they were chopped up, and that's how they died. They're echidnas that have been chopped the fuck up.
Yo, well, hey, actually, if we're talking
That's
about
not
like
inconsistent.
within the vicinity, no, you might be onto something. Maybe their souls went down there to be trapped in this place after they died in the Echidna Temple, where there's a bunch of stuff like saw blades and spikes and stuff like that.
That's horrible.
Yes, and it's wonderful because it's horrible.
They're gonna turn Tails into a robot. That's horrible.
They put bugs in them.
But what they actually
I like
are, they're
Bugs in a can, not lie.
those ribbons are there because they're there to represent prisoners, right?
Yeah.
They're in cells. So
It's I think it's
They're
literally just supposed to be a
incels.
cool design, but yeah.
They're incels.
The proper nomenclature is sexant.
Sexton.
what the
Nice.
He
Oh,
is he is Knuckles. Unlike Sonic, he doesn't fuck. Knuckles the incel.
Is Stanley, who will not slow.
fuck? Oh man, that's so
Fucking
good.
hell.
You know, as much as
There are people on my subathon who've never tuned into a Sunset City episode. This is very new to them.
this is so
So
good.
I'm gonna say this right now. Knuckles strikes me as the kind of guy who could get all of the pussy in the world, but refrains because he's more interested in getting a full 8 hours sleep than getting fucked.
I do love that meme.
Are you referring to that one meme that
No.
you shared?
Yes, I'm referring
Yeah.
to that. But I genuinely believe in that. I see that and I'm just like, that's on form. That's what he's like.
That's Knuckles.
Yep.
Yeah.
The next
I mean,
topic we've got on the piss is Rouge's titties. Are they real?
Here's all right, but like, what's under
200%. Yes.
We want a real mystery. What's under Knuckles' gloves? What's going on there?
Oh god, are the spikes actually like the gloves, or are they actually like bones jutting out Wolverine style?
What?
I mean,
No,
if we
guys,
go by
that's been
Sonic
answered.
Boom, he's got individual fingers.
That's been answered though.
In
We
Would
know
it
exactly what
kill-
they are.
Would it kill
They
get really
Rouge if
pointy in the
Knuckles
cold.
fisted her?
Oh god. Oh god.
They're actually his nipples.
Is nipples the enchilada?
Sonic, my nipples are rigid.
Girls are temporary, Master Emerald is forever. Oh god, chat is having a great time with us. I appreciate you guys. Oh man. Well, I mean, like I get this fixated on it, and I'm looking at something that has been kind of going back and forth in our stream, and it's that fucking train. I've always wondered about that train in SA2. I've always wanted more story behind. It's pretty much everything with the haunted stuff in Sonic Adventure 2. Like who's
Wait,
King?
the train in SA?
King Boo? Yeah.
the
Yeah,
ghost
but you can
train?
see it in the background
Yeah.
of our thing.
What is Pumpkin Hill? What is going on with this place?
Pumpkin Hill is a small retailer, and they're having a Halloween event on, and the flooring isn't quite finished yet. And all of those pillars and struts will have products on them that you can buy quite soon.
Has someone already done like Pumpkin Hill, but with the Spirit Halloween store banner on it?
If they haven't, they should. Like that should be modded
They
into the
should.
game.
That would be great. I want that. I want that in the mod loader.
I mean, they really do
You need
look
that
like
now.
everything in
I
there does
do-
look like a bunch of corny ass Spirit Halloween just deco that they put up in their stores that nobody ever actually buys.
Pup,
Yep.
do you guys have the Spirit Halloween stores over there?
No, we don't even have Halloween.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, we do. We do. We just don't take it very seriously over here.
Oh, got you. No, I always thought Pumpkin Hill was just where they made the candy corn.
What candy corn?
Candy corn.
Just
Yeah.
just the source of all
Wayne,
candy
you-
corn?
Yeah,
all candy corn.
That's where it all comes
candy
from.
corn in the Sonic universe. Okay, here's the new all candy corn in the Sonic universe comes from Pumpkin Hill, and it is sourced straight from the butthole of King Boom Boo.
I'm down.
I was literally about to say that Pumpkin Hill is the inside of King Boom Boo's butthole.
Dang it, pup! This is how. Okay, this is
It
it's
just looks
official.
like I'm just looking at it right now, and it just looks very fecal, doesn't it? Like
We have spent far too much time together, and this is evidence of that. I think the fact that
Who-
we both came the exact. Oh God!
question is-
Oh no!
Oh, you both
not
came.
again, Cyrus.
Who's
I'm not-
Another week in
I'm
a
not
row.
cleaning it up this time.
Who's-
Why is
whose
it orange?
influence has rubbed off on who though? That's the question.
I think both of us at the same time, at least last
Oh,
night.
Cyrus, shoot your hot influence all over me.
Oh god, I want candy corn now.
So who was King Boom Boo when he was alive?
Hungry for
When
words.
King Boom Boo was alive, who was he? What was his thing?
I want to.
Yeah,
I want to know.
the pharaoh in there. I would assume, right? Every
What
time
if he
we're in a
was
pyramid,
King
there's
Boom Boo?
ghosts. Every time we're in a
Oh, I
pyramid,
was thinking-
there's ghosts. It's
I was thinking he was the Sonic equivalent of like Neil Armstrong.
Because he's got a rocket in there.
Yeah, because he's got a rocket in the
That's why
pyramid.
He keeps his rocket in there. He's just like, just a little reminder of the life I once had.
That is the collective ghost of space capitalism.
it is weird though, right? Like, because we talked about this a little bit ago. I mean, I just said this in the chat where I wanted to talk about these weird little things that I never really had answered for me. Strangely, I think people who have also fixated on these little points have kind of come to answers. The Red Mountain Ghosts, not so much. I do think the Prisoners of Hell is about the clarification we're only ever going to get there. But like Burger Man has kind of been sorted out. Like I finally understand the point of Burger Man. Mecha Sonic, we figured out. That aside, as much as there are like supernatural elements in the Sonic universe, they don't really ever get too creepy with it. Like I can think of Pokemon. I can even think of Mario. And I could like just rattle off all these weird little Easter eggs, like super creepy fucking Easter eggs, and just get into discussions like, what are these things supposed to be? Like the Hell Sky Mountain figures that look over you, or that super tall ghost that just comes out from behind one of the, the poles at one of the end of the games. I think it was 3D Land. Or every ghost girl in Pokemon. Like, they do some crazy shit in those games, and I'm kind of surprised Sonic doesn't really follow suit. I mean, they use it, especially when they went 3D, they use those themes a little bit more often, and we get some, like, really crazy supernatural end bosses in some of the games, but yeah, I'm kind of coming up short.
A quick question, actually. I don't know if this counts as horror, but they don't have an official name, so I'm just going to call them the Long Boys from Sonic Forces. In Capital City, there's a bunch of Long Boy Infinites just like looking over you and destroying the highway. Like, what's the story behind the Long Boy? That's a mystery, right?
If I had to make a guess, and I know I'm not the first person to say this, I've been under the assumption that that was originally supposed to be Chaos.
Yes, actually, I read somewhere that it was meant to be Perfect Chaos, but Sega were like, okay, that's the point where we got to quit it with the nostalgia.
I guess.
But we actually had fucking Chaos as a character.
It would have at least given Chaos some kind of snap out of it. We're not talking about Sonic Forces that way today. The Long Boy. So the actual in-universe mystery behind the Long Boy and what happened to Long Boy afterwards.
Or just the Ruby in general. Like, there's a
the
lot
Long
of...
Boy comes from something, I reckon. I like to think that Long Boy's a guy.
The real that does bring up a question. Hold on, with the Phantom Ruby, is it confirmed that it's one of the stones that Eggman found, or one of the stones that he manufactured?
He found it on Angel Island in the classic universe.
Yeah, but then in the modern universe, where does the Phantom Ruby come from?
It warped in with classic Sonic, I think.
What are the Phantom Ruby prototypes? Because that's what you use as the player character.
That's true. There are prototypes. So did Dr. Eggman replicate the Phantom Ruby?
I think that's what I took away from that. Because Mania is
also,
very
another
obviously
thing
supposed
is,
to
like,
be tied with that game.
who is correct about their account of Infinite's origins? Is it Shadow or Amy? Shadow claims that Infinite was a dude that he fought and was like a mercenary, but Amy's like, Infinite was born in Dr. Eggman's facility. So like, what's going on there?
Technically, both of those can be true.
Yeah.
There's the Jackal character that Shadow fought threw away his identity because of the fucking shit that happened with Shadow, and then a different person entirely, functionally, was born in the form of Infinite. Like, it's still him in terms of his body and everything, but the actual character there is very different.
It's a very
So
Darth
that-
Vader-y kind of a explanation.
Yeah,
That's the best I
it's
can
a
do
it's
for
a Anakin died when Darth Vader killed him kind of deal.
Right.
The
Another
Jackal died when Infinite killed him.
Another unsolved mystery in that case.
And the Edgelord came out.
Who destroyed all the Death Egg robots in the fucking first level? Or did they just fall over?
What are we talking about? I don't remember this.
In the
In
first
so-
level
in
of
s-
Sonic Forces, before you've even done
You never
anything-
destroy the Death Egg robots. You
There
just
are
get to the
destroyed
end of
Death
it,
Egg
and they're
robots
just
just
not there
around.
anymore.
Yeah, they're just around Green Hill and they're just destroyed. Who did that?
Could be Shadow.
Shadow from 3 months prior, I guess.
Great way to set up a threat is to show them being destroyed in the first level. Well, anyway,
Man,
Another-
that is a good point. I wish that we had like some of my favorite things that you can do in a game is like set up a villain by here's this big enemy that's really tough to take out. Now you're going to a place where your arch nemesis has already been, and he's decimated it with ease.
That's
you
what
guys
they do
ever
in
play
Final
Fantasy VII?
Yeah, Sephiroth with the fucking snake.
Oh my god, haunting.
Yes,
Pup, you want to
that-
see some cool shit?
okay.
So speaking of snakes, I just keep talking about Sonic Adventure. Was anybody else like just weirdly fascinated by that giant stone snake in Lost World the first
The
time
one
you
in
came
Lost
across
World?
it? Yeah,
Yes, I love it.
I like
So
I like
cool.
how Wayne just it's like it's my pet. Yes.
They should
Yes.
have made the snake in Forces in the forest level that snake from Lost World.
That would have
Yeah.
been really cool.
Continuity, pup. Come on. No better.
Things where they could have actually done effective use of nostalgia, but nah, just
Yeah.
plastic Sonic Green Hill and Chemical Plant. Why not?
You know what
Yep.
that we kind of missed last week while we were talking about like creepy Sonic levels or anything? The entirety of Sonic CD.
I commented that in the chat.
Oh, I apologize. I was trying to keep up
I
with
was
you.
like,
You
the
had a
whole
lot. You had a
fucking
lot
game is
of
creepy.
great fucking comments in the chat last week, dude. Do we have a proper explanation for Majin Sonic? Have we talked about this on the show before? Like on the Sonic CD episode?
I don't think we actually talked about. We didn't actually talk about a lot of that hidden artwork. But okay, so the what's his face? I know him as Vendetta Sonic. I don't know what you guys have called him, like Homogenin or something. But like, so I just think that there was a creepy dude that worked at Sega and just drew that. I was like, haha, look at this. And like, dude, you can't put that in the game. He's like, oh yes, I can. I'll hide it in here.
But there has been I did a little bit of digging on that, and I don't know if anybody's covered it or not. And I do feel a little embarrassed because I almost just jumped over to Super Chats without talking about one of my most longtime curiosities in terms of creepy Sonic stuff. A lot of that started with Sonic CD, and I think that's what made me so interested and why I still associate like any kind of horror or unsettling aspects of it, because the American soundtrack mixed with like Dark Future and everything, it's always had this just very unsettling undertone to that game. And when I discovered
Sonic
that
CD is a
picture,
horror game. That game is a fucking horror game. There's no two ways about it.
but I think that Majin Sonic, I think it got its name because it's based off like old kabuki masks. I think some people came up with that particular notion because it does look a lot like it, and I guess according to more traditional Japanese lore, it all kind of makes sense together. I wish I had it in front of me, but I just thought about it right now. Well, hang on, Rhino's getting in here. By the way, it's not Majin from what I heard, but rather the name of the guy who worked at Sega that hides his names in a lot of the games. I know that part, and I do apologize for not getting into that specifically, but I do think it's based off like some kind of weird Japanese mask, if I'm not like that is supposed to look like a demon, isn't it?
I've just googled
As far
it,
as I
and
know,
I've
yeah.
just googled kabuki mask, and now I want one. I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah.
I could wear that while I murder people.
Well, I know Rhinos again,
What?
like its names comes from the signage at the bottom, but isn't it potentially that it has a double meaning there? Like, is that impossible? Because Majin was the I think that was his developer's nickname. And Shadow's color palette was also inspired by Kabuki Mask. That is true. Yes, that's absolutely true. That was one I always had like a lot of questions about. Like the end of Sonic Adventure 2 always left me wanting more. And I think Shadow the Hedgehog, like the game kind of put the kibosh on any lingering thoughts or questions I had about like Space Colony Arc. So that unfortunately I've not considered in terms of like unsolved Sonic mysteries, because first time, and we talked about it last week too, but like when first time I got to the Arc, I was like, what's going on here? This doesn't look like other Eggman facilities. Why is there so much organic shit in the middle of this? But I think explaining it with aliens kind of takes all the steam out of that particular conversation.
Also, if Shadow was made as a cure for AIDS, then why did he accompany Maria Robotnik? Because how would she have AIDS?
Because in
She's a
the
child.
hold on, no. In the Sonic universe, their AIDS is called NIDS, and it's a neurological disorder that manifests the exact same way.
Well, it's not even
She
AIDS.
suffered from
Why do people always say it's AIDS then?
because
That's
that's
not
what
AIDS.
that's
The
exactly
allegory.
what it was.
Yeah.
It's what its allegory was. When you do an allegorical sickness in fiction, there's nothing wrong with saying what is it an allegory for. Literally, there's nothing wrong with that.
But what does it actually have in common with AIDS?
Everything except transference. It's a genetic condition for her, but
Okay.
it's literally everything in terms of her ability to be susceptible to, like, that's one of the reasons why she was
the
on
disease itself.
that's one of the reasons why she was on the Ark, because it was a sterile facility where she wouldn't have to worry about the sicknesses that were on Earth, because they would literally kill her.
What a great story, man! I love that shit.
I do too. I know that Nick's just like, it's not necessary, like, but I like it. It's cool.
It's good.
I'm kind of
It goes above and beyond, man. Like,
well, I don't know, man. I like to think I've grown a little bit in terms of my thoughts on all these subjects. Because Puff, like the first time we ever really did anything online together was our quick conversation like between what's worse between 06 and Forces, and I just flat out just dismissed all the adventure stories. Like that's just dumb stories. But like, I don't know. Like there's a lot there, and I think a lot of my issues were more just like really awkward, corny moments and just kind of shitty localization here and there. But I think the more I dig into it, the more I'm remembering what I loved about those games when I was younger. So I don't know. I'm gonna try to be a more positive man, and that's thanks to all you pieces of
the
shit.
execution is everything, and I'm not going to pretend it's executed brilliantly. Like, the ideas on paper are great, I think, but like the execution is in that poorly localized Sonic-y way, which personally I think that adds to the makeup of Sonic Adventure 2's identity, and I wouldn't necessarily change it. But I do understand why it would be a higher quality product overall if it did have good localization.
No.
Well, that's even for me. If like we're just talking about the the actual structure and layout of, say, Sonic Adventure 1, as much as I love that game, part of its charm comes from how amateur it is.
Hills,
Yeah,
you're
I
gonna
mean, put it
crash.
like- Put it that way, yeah, like, if they remade Sonic Adventure but didn't do the extreme facial expressions with the little fangs, it would be a bit of a letdown, because it is part of its makeup. Like, for example, an example of where I think a higher quality product ended up in a lesser outcome. The Spyro Reignited trilogy. The NPCs in Spyro were often voiced by developers who weren't voice actors, and they wouldn't take the role seriously at all. So my favorite of all of them, and this typifies the point, is in Zephyr in Spyro 2. There's Juliet, and you have to help her find Romeo. And in the original game, it's just this grown man going, Romeo, Romeo, and stuff. And it's shitposty. In the actual game, they got like a professional female actress to voice Juliet, and it loses so much. It's a high quality thing because they're not shitposting anymore. But it's like I liked it as a shitpost.
I will say I not to get on that train for too long because we are going to have to wrap stuff up soon. But I agree with you because I love Ripto's Rage, but playing through the Reignite trilogy, which is a wonderful remaster of those games. Do not get me wrong.
Sure.
Yeah.
But the one thing that really bugged me was a lot of the voice acting being changed took away from some of the took away from like some of the characters. And I remember loving the way the monks sounded in the
Yeah.
mountainy level of Ripto's Rage, and then in the remake, I don't know if it was to try to avoid coming off as offensive. If that's the case, fair enough. But it did feel like they lost a bit of character there.
I kind of like they had the dual soundtrack thing, but I kind of wish they had like dual NPCs as well. Because I still think one of the funniest things about revisiting also like Spyro 1 is every single dragon you release says the same line of "Thank you for releasing me."
Yeah.
Whereas in the Reignited, they now say useful shit and they've all got different voices. And I'm like, I don't know, part of me would just be happy with "Thank you for releasing me."
At least one of them, you know?
Yeah.
They do have one of them say it, but he doesn't say it in the original voice, so it's like it's not the same, is it?
I think they put
you
most
gotta
of the
have it,
effort
like,
on
perfect.
Spyro 1. I think the most of the effort in terms of the remake, I think I went to Spyro 1. But we're getting a little off topic there. And fortunately, guys, I do have to leave in a few minutes here, so we will have to jump off of that. Is there any other things you guys want to discuss in terms of like things about the Sonic franchise? Like these weird little things that you've seen that kind of just stuck out to you and you always want a little bit more information on it? These weird unsolved
To be
mysteries.
honest, so there's a lot of weird things in Heroes that just don't make a lot of sense. Like, especially Frog Forest. We have obviously very large variants of Froggy. Like, they're almost using the same model, just a little more high poly.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean that Froggy has similar powers? Because these are the same creatures almost.
They have
So,
you
like,
get chased
you,
by a giant crocodile in that game, and you also play a crocodile.
You also play as Vector.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shit,
That-
don't make no sense.
Hang on.
I love that though. Like Nick trying to wrap it up, and he's like, "So does anyone else have anything
Well,
to say?"
no,
You're not
no.
supposed to answer it.
No,
And
you
Sirius is
are.
like, "Frogs, fucking frogs."
But
Fucking
that brings. Hang on. That does bring up a good mystery, though. I don't think it's this game specifically. I think it's Shadow the Hedgehog, where we don't know who hires the Chaotix Detective Agency, right? Because they get
I thought it
hired
was
at some
Eggman.
point. Not for. Was it for Shadow the Hedgehog as well?
Oh shit.
Because they're just
I-
doing shit. They're hanging out on a computer for some reason. Do
The
we
computer
know?
room?
Yeah, they got to find the computer room. But I don't.
Yeah, we never figure out who the client is.
Yeah.
It's my
president.
theory.
Mighty.
Yeah, that's actually kind of Wayne's kind of got it in one. My theory's always been that like the government hired them because let's be honest, in the story of Shadow the Hedgehog, the world goes to piss.
Oh yeah,
Like-
it gets fucked up.
Yeah.
Like the world is completely on the fucking verge and brink. And the idea that the United States would just go, these guys handled Eggman once, right? Fucking hire them.
They're gonna throw
It's-
everything at the wall, yeah.
Yeah, it's that's not outside the realm of possibility for me. It makes sense. So, I mean, that's kind of where I sit. Like I'm very of the opinion that like that's all just busy work the fucking US government handed them.
Potentially. But we don't have a firm answer, which is interesting when that
We
was
don't.
such a big deal for Sonic Heroes. Like that was a mystery they helped solve was it was Eggman himself who hired us because it's not actually Eggman who's doing all the stupid bullshit. So there we go. Look at that. We do have another little mystery that I've always been curious about. I feel good about that. Thank you for bringing that up, sir. You talking about Sonic Heroes made me think about that.
Okay, but what about the gay frogs?
We've also probably got to do those super chats before it's time for Nick to go to work.
I'll be look, man. I'm in my
Yeah,
last
yeah.
couple shifts here, dude. Like I'm doing a mid shift. They're gonna be okay. They're gonna be fine.
Okay.
I'm doing
All right,
right by
well-
my audience first
Just a
and my
potential
boys.
future topic. You guys ever check the IMDb reviews for the Sonic movie?
I have not.
No, I haven't.
Now, there's something for us to uncover. There's a lot of people offended about a joke in there where apparently Dr. Robotnik turned Azerbaijan into Azerbaijanistan. And there's a lot of people from Azerbaijan that are pissed off about it.
I mean, if the people that are pissed off about it are kind of the butt of the joke and it's a cultural thing, I usually don't try to
I don't know if
to,
a
antagonize
room of
that.
white boys should
I'm
really.
not trying to antagonize it. I just want to
Yeah.
know what's the problem. You know?
So
we don't
maybe you
have
should-
to really understand the problem. I
Yeah,
think
at that point, maybe it's better to ask a local pup and not a group of fucking white boys.
we're the wrong guys for that.
But I mean, it's yeah. I mean, I think we just
check
literally
out
did
the-
as much we can do about it, right?
I think we've hit like the big mysteries that we've all wanted to. Yeah, I mean, there's only so many to tackle, especially in the time frame that we have today.
Yeah, because a lot of people on Twitter were, again, like I said, they were getting into like stuff that really deserves its own conversational pieces. And maybe next week that's what we do. If you guys want to talk like creepy characters or like those big Cthulhu like boss battles that we got in the earlier 3D games, I think that'd
Or
be a
Big
fun.
Cat.
Or Big the Cat. Big the Cat is a mystery. He's
always around.
He's always around.
He's always there, staring, watching. Collect 8 pages so he don't die too fast.
Jesus Christ. Well, yeah, we'll talk about Big the Cat another day. Let's get to the super chats, and then we'll wrap things up. And thank you everybody for being as patient as you have been with us today. It's always a fun experience.
It's been a day.
Yeah.
All right, so Pup, do you want to start and we just go around the table like usual?
All right, let me scroll up. Where did we begin? Okay, so there's the pictures of the animals from last week. Okay, let's see. We got.
I see we're
Nick
back on this
Milk,
again.
Jamal.
It's under the
Michelle.
supernatural.
I'm finding it.
Okay.
There's pictures of Sirius, pictures of Wayne, Sirius, and Nick and me. Here we go. Okay, that Jordo who sent in $8.33. All hail the bee. The ultimate mystery.
Is that
How
the
do you
first one?
fly?
That is the first one. Yeah. That like as soon
Yeah,
as we
that's the
started
first one.
our disastrous first attempt, it was
Oh, okay. I didn't scroll up high enough. That was my bad. I'm sorry.
it's all good. Aiden,
I got it
or
now.
Aiden, I apologize. The eyes in the
Alien.
Aiden F sent us $2. Wow, amazing new intro again, Pup. That was it. Really, you really like knocked it out of the park with it, dude. It looks really cool. I'm sorry we just went and just crashed the train immediately.
Thanks, Fred.
Took your hard work and broke it.
Yep, broke it right over our knees.
Nice.
Cirrus?
So the next one we have is got all hail the bee in there from AKA Shoden for $5. Wow, amazing new intro.
No, that's the one below you want.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
the way these. Okay, so that
You
Jordo,
stupid bitch.
Aiden, AKA Shoden, $5. Pup, that intro was pretty jaw dropping. The bees are pleased.
So
Oh,
it's like
guys,
both. It's
stop.
both the the last comments combined into one.
Yep,
Yeah.
the bees are very pleased. Everyone.
It's a crossover.
All right.
All right. And then we also had our pal Jamal Simmons with US $5. Nick Cross Sally Acorn rules. Happy Nick Milk Day. Too.
Happy Nick Milk Day. You get Nick Milk from Nick's acorns.
Oh
All right.
no.
I'm scrolling down trying
I'm
to...
glad we're milking this joke for all it's worth.
Right from my star nipples. I might be able to get those now that I don't have to work anymore.
Hey, go for it. Green hair, star nipples. Got
Do
a
you
thing going on.
usually show your nipples at work?
Thank you,
Is
Cirrus.
this a thing you got to be careful
I was
about?
waiting for that thought process to get to that point. Thank you. Now we can continue.
So,
I would hope so.
3 Monix sends $10 and says, I'm in hell and I love it. Wait, one of the prisoners of hell.
That was all of us today. Maybe the
Yep, it
prisoners
really
of hell
was.
were all the disasters
friend-
we came across along the way.
They were the friends we made along the way.
The flames of disaster.
The Iblis trigger.
I'm Iblis triggered. Let's see. Next was from Jamal again. Thank you again, Jamal. No. I'm pulling a Cirrus. That's so embarrassing. Can you believe that? Oh no. Where were we at?
For fuck's sake.
Wait, you didn't keep up?
No. You're
Look,
correct, Nick.
Jamal always
it's
wishes
another
us a happy day.
It's another one.
So-
Okay, I got thrown off completely.
Yeah, he
It's
sent
just
another
a
one.
And
a
I skipped
similar...
over Pup
This
too.
was when we went into the new
Yeah.
stream.
And I completely skipped over you,
Yeah.
Pup. I'm sorry. You wanna do
No,
the
you
next
didn't.
one?
I read 3 Monix one.
Oh, you did. I got
Yeah.
myself all thrown off. I'm like, all right. Well, thank you anyway. Yeah, it's your turn, Cirrus. I'll shut up now.
Did we read out what Jamal said?
Yeah, happy Nick Milk Day, everyone. Nick and Sally Acorn.
There we go.
Yeah,
All
we just had to get it right in there again.
Yeah.
Okay, next one is from Cairo. Thank you very much for the $5. Hope the hiccups aren't causing too many issues. Here's some money for the troubles. Also, Nick should permanently have the double voice, Robo Nick.
Like a robot, Nick?
Yep. I'm like 100% certain that's where we were going with that.
Or the Saw Nick?
Shut
A
up.
Saw Nick
Now
podcast?
you see the truth. I am the Alpha and the Omega. I am the Sonic franchise.
You're an
Wait, don't
Omega
you mean you're the
male, right?
Gamma
That's
and the Omega?
I'm sorry for all the weird games. The Gamma and the Omega. Yeah, that's a better joke. Well done. I get the reference.
Wayne, you're up.
He's a Gamma male, everybody.
You're a beta male, Sonic. Let's see. Hope the internet too many issues. Okay. Boogie whoa. With $2. My pup's getting surgery right now.
Getting
Oh.
surgery, and I belong to no one, but I wish best
Well,
of luck to your...
God damn it, not you. No, we are sorry to hear that. Boogie.
Yeah, that's always a
Hopefully
stressful
everything
time.
goes well.
Mhm.
Yeah, so definitely hoping that was probably a little while ago that was posted. But hopefully you got some good updates on that. And
Sending my well
everything went
wishes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let us know how it goes. Let us know how the pup does on the next one.
Yeah, let us for real, let us know. We love dogs here. Obviously we tolerate this man as much as we do. So let us know, because dogs are the best people. Except for Channel Pup.
They're
Yes,
better than
Nick,
actual people.
Do you reckon you could put that little drawing I did of Metal Sonic on the stream?
I'll do my best.
And then Pup, we have one in the one super chat that is in the chat log but did not get copied over to the list.
Oh shit!
It's not hard to find. It's up there. It's pretty close up there.
Just
Do you need it? Do you need me to?
Oh, we got another super chat from Mr. SP as well.
Okay. Yeah, that was the one I was talking
you're
about.
Do you want me to read it? Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. SP sends 10 USD. Ha, rhymes. I really enjoyed watching the behind-the-scenes content via Cirrus's Twitch channel. At the very least, it was far more fun than waiting for the train for half an hour. Yeah, I know how that feels, man.
Yeah.
That's-
Train.
That's us. Every week.
We'll have to change the
Change
name. Hey, you got the doodle I did of Metal Sonic while Wayne was talking about something or whatever. Yeah.
There we go.
Cirrus just goes down.
Oh no, I
Goodbye.
had to mute because of what somebody posted in my chat, and I am not infecting Sunset City with that.
Is it political?
Oh, I'm looking.
No,
That's
oh
weird.
no, you know exactly what it is, Wayne, and that is why I'm not doing it.
Are we talking about universal?
Oh,
healthcare?
was it? Oh
Yeah.
my God! Did they drop one?
They dropped a nuke. They dropped a nuke over there. But
Is that a good
I'm
thing?
not. I'll explain when we're not on Sunset City.
Speaking
God,
of,
I hate my life.
I think we need to wrap things up. Did Pup was yours, Mr. SP's latest one?
Yeah, I just read that.
Okay. Then I just see these. Oh, these are great. I love this.
I was doing these during the stream.
Beautiful. Well
Good.
done. Well, that could be for our future Discord for Sunset City.
So remember, everybody, this is the outro. And remember, it's always sunny in Philadelphia.
Make sure to get your fucking animals neutered.
All right, for real though, you can find all of us at our different YouTube websites. We post things to. Wayne has been doing Metroid Month, and it's been incredible. I can't believe the quality and the output you've been managing to put out every single week. If you've not checked out his stuff, you really and truly need to. It's been a lot of fun, Wayne. And I think all of us pop up every now and then. Pup, are you on there? Have you played a Metroid game before?
It what? No, I haven't played a Metroid game before.
Oh,
I played Sonic Boom Shattered Crystals. That's basically
No. This is why you don't get to have opinions on Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts.
Look,
I
bitch,
swear
I
to
will
God.
have look.
I need
Listen.
to wrap this show up. We're not doing Banjo right now. I'm sorry. Cirrus is doing a subathon. He's literally doing it right now on his Twitch stream. Go support him because he's trying to knock out medical bills, and we love the boy. We're here for him. We'll be popping by to keep guest appearing on it because he's got 130 at least hours left on his
I have been
stream.
streaming for 2 days and 20 hours
I
straight.
literally said we could start an Indiegogo, but you decided to do this shit instead.
Man,
Look,
it's
He
fun.
prefers straight up blue.
Also, if anybody's paying attention over on my end, hit the collab command. That will bring you up a link to Sunset City. If you haven't subscribed over there yet, please fucking do so.
Please
okay?
do so.
Thank you.
Remember, if we can raise $1,000 for Sirius tonight, he will get his dick out.
What?
What?
So I'm going to
Yes.
keep rolling through this because your boy's got to go to work. Channel Pup, he's been doing some great stuff. I think your latest big video was the mini origins of Venom, and you just recently did one just kind of covering your thoughts on DC fandom. Haven't Squeakies fandom, right?
What a shit show that was.
Yeah, no, that was fun listening to your thoughts and feelings about all that. So if you have not subscribed to any of us, we would greatly appreciate your assistance on that front. I've not released anything outside of me whining about the Venom movie like 2 weeks ago, and I literally forgotten about it.
It was a good movie.
Well, no, but it's
It's a good movie.
sure
It's
is.
a good film. It's a good kino.
If you want someone that's gonna mock the shit out of it, you can watch my video. If you want someone who's gonna give you like a genuine positive reaction to it, go watch Pup's review on it.
His
It-
interest is Civil War.
It's good to have a healthy amount of different opinions about things because turns out you're allowed to enjoy things and just have thoughts about it. But I am working on a
You're
Sonic
not
Colors
allowed
video.
to disagree with me though. That's the rule.
But yeah, I'm working hard to get a very huge Sonic Colors video done. And that should hopefully be done as soon as I can finish up work here. And then next month, hopefully I can do my marathon. But that's all I got for right now, guys, because your boy unfortunately has to get going to work. So I'm going to wrap things up here. Thank you so much for hanging out with us in Sunset City, and we will see you all next week.